What's up guys, welcome back to Seiya Awakening. It's a new week, new banner, new character, and the first of Hades' Spectres. This week we have the chance to summon Wyvern RHADAMANTHYS, which is a great unit for some PvE content in the game. Now the best news is that after his banner, he goes into the normal summoning pool. So I'm gonna answer one of the most common questions. Should we summon for him right now or not? In my opinion, it's not worth summoning just for him, because he is a character with some very limited uses in the game. Even though he's really good at what he does, there's just not a lot of places where you can use him. We also found out that starting next week, we'll have a 2-week banner for Poseidon. Because this guy goes into the normal pool, I would summon for Poseidon, and then maybe you have a chance of getting him while you're summoning there. I personally will be doing 0 summons this week, not even for the event. Anyway, we're gonna jump over to the SEA server on Yogmod's account. He is a fellow streamer, a friend streamer. He is from Italy and he streams in Italian, so if you want to practice your Italian, I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. He's got a really well-built RHADAMANTHYS that he uses for Legion boss, which is his specialty, so we're gonna go check out his Cosmo teams the same as usual. Let's go there right now. Here we are then, and on SEA this week, they have a double banner with Araya Shikishaka and Divine Cloth Iki. This is ridiculous. Now, Yog has a really well-built account because, unlike me, he didn't stop playing the SEA version when Global came out. So he's got Hades, he's got Poseidon, he's got Divine Iki, he's got a bunch of interesting characters that we can look and review when they are available on Global. Today we're here for Mr. RHADAMANTHYS though, and one cool thing you'll notice right away is his background. You see how it's different? There's like a temple in the background. He's not one of those shitty characters that just has like the little stars twinkling in the back. No, his changes. Just like the gods, each god has a specific one, and RHADAMANTHYS does as well. I'm not sure why, they just love him. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, RHADAMANTHYS is a character that is used primarily for PvE, though I am sure there's some crazy people out there who use him for PvP, but he's not really that amazing there. This guy was born to fight in Legion boss, because all of his mechanics requires some time for it to build up, but the damage levels that you can reach are just astounding. His first skill, like most characters in the game, simple attack, although this one hits 3 times with a 35% multiplier for a total of, what's that, 105. His second skill doesn't sound very interesting at first glance. This thing says, charges up for 2 rounds when you stand and consume action round, and then you attack 3 times with 90% multiplier each. That's a total of 270% multiplier, which is really underwhelming in most cases. The fact that it also has to charge for 2 rounds just sounds atrocious when you first look at it, but don't worry, this is gonna get better really quick. His third skill has one of these biblical descriptions, which I could spend an hour explaining to you, and I'm not even sure I understand it myself, so I'm gonna sum it up for you really easily. RHADAMANTHYS depends on charging his power. The way that happens is anytime one of his allies connects a critical attack, so we're talking about obviously physical attackers because they're the only ones that can connect critical. When somebody hits with a critical attack, RHADAMANTHYS charges his wings. The more charges you have, the more attacks he releases when he uses the ultimate vigilance, his second skill, and if you reach the max of 4 charges, then you do 12 attacks. With a well-built RHADAMANTHYS and this skill leveled up, that is a ridiculous level of damage. And his fourth skill, which is also a passive, is how you get around charging for those 2 rounds on the second skill. This thing reads, when casting ultimate vigilance, at start there is a 60% chance to release the energy without charging. And here's one of the sticking points with RHADAMANTHYS. If you cannot get this skill to at least level 4, he is very unreliable. If you waste 2 rounds charging on Legion boss, then your total damage is going to be bad, and you're probably going to be better off just using Pisces or some other saint. But if you can skill him up, get him to about level 4 at least, which is a 95% chance. There's only a 5% chance that you don't release, which doesn't sound like much, but trust me, it can happen. You're gonna see it in the demonstration today. If you can get it to level 4, then that's a lot more reliable. If you can get it to 5, then fantastic. That means you will never ever charge. You'll be able to attack every single round, and if you have maximum charges, that's gonna be dozens of attacks going out. Speaking of how important skill ups are, this guy is a skill tome hog. As I said, the 4th skill is essential to get to at least level 4, and the 3rd one is also very heavily recommended that you skill it up to at least level 4 as well, to be able to generate more energy waves every time you attack. If you have to choose though, then definitely prioritize skill 4. Moving on to his Cosmo, it's fortunately a lot more straight up than trying to understand his skills, which I think you need a PhD to do that. He is a physical type attacker, so we're going to be looking for all the traditional things: physical attack, P-crit level, and P-crit effect if we decide to go with Fire Drop. Yog has focused on a build with super high physical attack, forsaking a little bit of P-crit level and P-crit effect. He's gone with P-Stone in the red Cosmo. In yellow, it doesn't really matter. He has Tenacity equipped, but the focus here is going to be substat. You're going to be looking for anything that has physical attack, even if it's not a complete set, because it really doesn't matter. The only area that you're likely going to be using him is Legion boss. So if you sacrifice one of these set bonuses, but you happen to have different Cosmo with really high stats, then I would go with that without a doubt. Under the blue Cosmo currently on Global, available, our only option really is Staunch with a P crit level. So if you do go with P crit level, in the meantime, you could go with Fire Drop on the red Cosmo. But once Crystal Fire becomes available, then you're likely going to be switching to that, because not only does it give you a big physical attack boost, it also helps you to ignore physical defense on your enemy. The speed stat is kind of wasted. He doesn't really need stat for PvE, but whatever. You get the physical attack and the ignore defense. Under Legendary Cosmo, there was no discussion when we were talking about this guy on stream yesterday. Felina is the best Cosmo for him because none of his abilities use energy. So 100% of the time, every single round, you're going to be able to take advantage of Felina. That's a 50% guaranteed increase in damage, whereas you could go with the traditional Kingfisher and everything, but they all have a chance to not proc. Felina is guaranteed. In substats, you're going to be looking exclusively for damage. Pretty much nothing else matters on this guy. P crit level, P attack, and you're good to go. You can't get P crit effect on substats, so don't bother about it. P attack, P crit level, and hit as hard as you can. Now, as for his teams, because he is such a specific character that you use for Legion Boss, the teams that go well with him are really the basic teams that help you improve your score in Legion Boss. To use Yogg as an example, he uses almost the same thing that I do. He goes Luna, Seiya, Data Loss, Pisces, RHADAMANTHYS, and Yuzuriha. No healer. Obviously, to accomplish this without a healer, you need a couple of things. You need ultra high level and ultra high Cosmo. You're gonna need some 8th sense to improve your HP, and you might also need to fight only the bosses that don't reflect damage. Though RHADAMANTHYS has a really cool thing about him. Let me show you. Here under his 8th sense, this one, he gets 7.5% lifesteal from just this one. So if you can find a little bit more in sub attributes in Cosmo, you might be able to sustain enough where it doesn't matter if the boss reflects or not. Still, obviously, anytime you run with a healer, the run is gonna be much safer. In Yogg's case, sometimes a couple of his supports, Luna and Seiya, die throughout the run, and your damage is going to decrease a little bit, but it's towards the end of the run, so it shouldn't be too bad. If you're one of those crazy persons that want to use him in PvP because RHADAMANTHYS is the love of your life, your favorite character, and you want to make him work somehow, he combines rather well with Divine Seiya, because Divine Seiya can move at the start of the round, land some critical hits, and immediately activate the charges on RHADAMANTHYS, and then he can use his skill with 0 energy. In the distant future, he will also combine well with Evil Saga, because Evil Saga is great in no energy consumption teams. Other than that, you're really just going to be pushing your luck. I talk to a lot of people, and it's really hard to use him in PvP for a couple of reasons. First, that there are conditions to his charge. You have to run some physical attackers that can help charge his wings. Secondly, it takes a while to charge those wings. And in today's meta, we're playing kind of a fast kill meta. So having this guy sit there forever for 3-4 rounds, however long it takes, trying to charge up his wings is just not going to work. It doesn't fit well at the moment. If you do happen to find a good combination, then definitely let me know. Leave it in the comments. Other people can benefit from it, and it may be something we consider building in the future. Now, I'm going to show you really quick here the stats on Yogg's RHADAMANTHYS, because this thing is really gorgeous. Well over 10,000 physical attack, almost 40,000 HP, and he's only a B rank in that stat, and some speed thanks to that Crystal Fire Cosmo. Now, he does sacrifice a little bit of P crit level to reach these numbers, but he's done the math, he's tried it in different ways, and he says this is the build that works best for him. Now, as far as his weaknesses, I think there are 2 glaring weaknesses, or they're not really weaknesses, they're just kind of limitations on the character. First and foremost is how specific his uses are. You really only see him on Legion Boss, you don't even see him in other areas of PvE, and I've never seen one in PvP. That, combined with his second weaknesses, which is the number of skill ups that he requires, makes him a really expensive character to build, and then you're gonna get very limited use out of him. Does that mean he's bad? No, absolutely not. It doesn't mean he's bad. What he does amazingly, and before Divine Iki comes out, he is gonna be the king of Legion Boss damage. If you decide to build him, then guaranteed you're gonna shoot to number 1 in your guild, unless there's somebody with a better RHADAMANTHYS. There's just no competition for him at the moment. To use Omri as an example, he had been doing, I think, about 40 million per day on Legion Boss. He got his RHADAMANTHYS today, he built him, and he hit 81 million damage total this morning. I thought I was beginning to catch up to him, and now it turns out he does more than double what I do. It's insane. But alright, that's enough talk about RHADAMANTHYS. I think it's time to check him out in action, and I was able to use Yogg's account yesterday morning to record his attack on the Legion Boss. Now, this is a great opportunity. I had to do it super early. I literally got home from taking my son to school, jumped right in, so excuse me if my eyes are still kind of sticky and swollen. I hadn't been awake for a long time, I hadn't had a coffee, but I sacrificed myself so that I could show you guys this unit in action in his best spot in the game. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and fight the Legion Boss. Now, Yogg was nice enough to set up the lineup for me, that way I can't mess anything up, because I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Remember, I've never used RHADAMANTHYS in my life before today, but this is his area of expertise. This is why he was born. He was born to do this. We're gonna fight the special Poseidon boss here from the Legion Boss at level 131, so this thing is strong as hell. The strategy that we're gonna use, or the team that we're gonna use, is Luna, Data Loss, Seiya, RHADAMANTHYS, Yuzuriha, and Pisces. No healer. Alright, and on turn 1, we're going to double turn Data Loss, and then after that, on every single turn, we're going to double turn Seiya, so we can get that maximum of 4 weakens. And then the whole strategy works fairly similar to the one that we were using on Global with Pisces, in which everybody's on Ruck, so you generate as much energy as possible for the end of the round. Alright, I'm going to start, and I'm going to try to not forget any of my instructions, okay? So, first round, we double turn Data Loss, we steal twice, and in this case, his RHADAMANTHYS does have the highest physical attack, so any physical attack we steal will go to Rada, alright? And then any Cosmo attack is going to go to Luna because she's the only Cosmo-based attacker in the whole team. Right? Turn 1, we're going to use 1 weaken, obviously, because we don't have 2 turns. And we have to protect Seiya after this, because the boss hits really hard on that first attack, and Seiya is the weakest member of the party, okay? So we're going to cover him after he moves. That way he doesn't lose the coverage when he moves. Alright? Yuzuriha, the whole fight, we're just going to use her single skill. And we have no wings yet, so we're just going to use the attack. And we're going to start... I don't know what just happened. There's a ball in front of me. Did he really just not proc it on the first turn? No way, dude. No way. Alright, so we double turn Seiya. He got some protection there on that first move. He didn't get hit too hard. And we're gonna keep attacking, and this is already looking like a sort of weak run because RHADAMANTHYS missed on the very first turn. And the thing with him is, if he doesn't activate his skill, he's actually down for 2 rounds. If you notice on this round, I can't use the hard attack anyway. But it's better that he misses now than he misses later, right? Because later we're gonna have more weekends and we're gonna have maybe some defense break and stuff. So I prefer that he misses now, and hopefully he doesn't RHADAMANTHYS. Don't do it again, bro. You got full stacks, okay? Please behave. This is your demonstration. You're supposed to be shining. You are the shining diamond here, and you're kind of opaque right now. Alright, we keep weakening. We got the 4 stacks now. We're generating a good bit of energy. Now, after 2 rounds, when he misses, after 2 rounds, he does release his attack on his own. If you notice, I didn't have to press any skills. And the other cool thing about RHADAMANTHYS is he doesn't lose his stacks, right? Even after he uses his big attack and he does tons of damage, he keeps the stacks for the rest of the fight. And it'd be crazy if this could stack higher, but it only goes up to 4. But trust me, it's enough damage. The numbers that you get from this team are ridiculous. As soon as he becomes available on Global, this will be probably the best team that you can have for Legion boss. Now, obviously, Yogg's Cosmo level is super, super high, so he doesn't need a healer. We may need to adjust this in some way on Global to use a healer while we can get our Cosmo up to par. Otherwise, we're probably just gonna die. Also, we're fighting the boss that doesn't reflect damage. Yeah, that's huge. We're fighting Poseidon. This special boss does not reflect damage. If we were fighting the regular boss, I'm not sure how this would work out. You will most likely need a healer, and RHADAMANTHYS does so much damage that even with a healer, he might just one-shot himself. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. We'll have to test it, we'll have to try it out, and see how we can adjust it to Global and healer or no healer. Now we got the, oh shit, my Luna got frozen. It feels bad. So no double weaken here. But we did drop below 50% with Seiya, which triggers that additional damage boost from his weaken, from his, what the heck is it called? The Pegasus Comet, or whatever the heck that skill is called. Now, we're not doing as much damage here, and I'm not sure why. Is it because we're missing 1 weaken? We're supposed to be doing, like, 100 and something thousand damage per hit from RHADAMANTHYS, but it's not happening. Oh, RHADAMANTHYS. He had a 5% chance to miss, by the way. Yogg told me. There is a very small chance that he might not do his skill, but it's only 5%. I don't think it'll happen. Guess what? It happened in the Spanish review, and it happened in the English review yet. Freaking... Okay. We broke 100,000 per attack. That's good, that's good. And we still only have 3 weekends. So this turn, if my Luna's not frozen... Please don't freeze my Luna. Okay, we're alive. Then we're going to be able to get the 4 weekends on this one and see the maximum damage. I think it's something like 130,000 per hit, something like that. We'll check it out on this one. Double weaken again. Generate energy for Pisces. Come on, my Rucks. Come on, my Rucks. There we go. Nice Ruck. Rada, don't miss, bro. Okay. He didn't miss? Yeah, 136 per hit. And now Pisces is doing some work, too. We haven't been able to land the defense break, which if we get lucky and we land the defense break with Pisces, then the damage goes way up. That defense break makes a huge difference. That's why I run my Pisces on Seiya, even though everybody says it doesn't make that much sense. But if you can land that defense break, you will see much higher damage. But you need status here. So you're going to sacrifice some other stats. Maybe you sacrifice a little bit of HP or defense in order to get that probability up. 136. Beautiful. So we're all alive. In the Spanish review, we lost Luna and Seiya way before this point. Yeah, everybody still somehow, everybody made it to the end of the round. Y'all told me, at the level that we're fighting the boss, it's actually really hard to go without healer because it's very likely that some of your characters will die. But we got super lucky on this one. We only missed with RHADAMANTHYS on the first rounds. God damn it, I had to jinx it! He missed on the very last round! Oh, RHADAMANTHYS. You are a disappointment to Hades, RHADAMANTHYS. God! This is 34 million, okay? And we missed the first round and the last round. So, imagine if we hadn't. This could have been, dude, this could have been a 40 million run. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope the guide is useful to help you decide whether you want to get him, and if you do get him, whether you want to build him and invest all your resources. I'm not gonna be summoning for him this week, but I do hope to get him in the future. That way I can improve my Legion contribution. Now, with today's update, we also got a bunch of new features and events and stuff, so we might be going over those tomorrow in a specific video. And I also have a question to ask you guys. I don't know if all of you are aware, but I do collect the Myth Cloth figures for Saint Seiya. I started the collection a very long time ago, and I got a new display where I'm gonna have him real nice, so I'm gonna try to complete my collection. I'm gonna buy them slowly, maybe one per month, because they're really expensive. But anyway, this week we got Mr. Doko, which because of the green screen you can't really see very well. You see more of the reflection of the background than anything else. But I wanted to ask, would you guys be interested in seeing a video with an unboxing, how we put it together, how the armor looks when it's put together? Let me know in the comments, and maybe we do that on Friday. It would be an awesome chance to announce the winner of the 50,000 subscribers as well. I'm gonna leave you here now. If you haven't already, please hit like, hit subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye!